Hey, everybody. Happy Wellness Wednesday. So I'm just a few minutes late. Yeah, I'm a little late, but I'm so happy to see you guys. It's been a while since I've done Wellness Wednesday. We've been so busy with our Alzheimer's event, which was a wonderful success. Gold Wellness Circle and Light of Gold PR's team did a fantastic job. And we had a wonderful, wonderful event at the Eastern Acupuncture School on this past Saturday, June 24th from 12:30 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. So if you follow us online, you should have seen a lot of the posts that we put up, the pictures. You'll see some video. You could go to our Gold Wellness Circle site. We'll get that updated. We'll have some footage there as well. But for now, you probably should have seen some of our posts online. And so thank you for all of our sponsors, partners, vendors, our Zumba teachers, our meditation coach, our senior movement coach, our yoga person, and all our fabulous vendors. And definitely to the Alzheimer's Association, Eastern Acupuncture School, our volunteers, and our Light of Gold PR and Gold Wellness Circle team. I'm very proud of my family for flying in. We're very appreciative of them coming in to honor our matriarch, Tootie, who passed away in 2022 from Alzheimer's. So we do this event in honor of her. And so my niece, Michelle, my great grandniece, Zanaya, and my grandnephew, Chris, they all flew in from Atlanta. So I'm so happy that they were able to make it. So just a little bit about us. Light of Gold PR is a 17-year-old PR marketing firm. We do branding, marketing, digital events. And then, of course, we started Gold Wellness Circle in response to COVID about 3 years ago. We're proud to say that we partnered with the Alzheimer's Association and the American Cancer Society to work on events. We have already submitted for our nonprofit status. So we're super excited about that as well. And so we're always looking to partner with organizations uh, like the Alzheimer's Association and American Cancer Society. So that being said, let's jump into our topic, which is strategies for effective stress management in the workplace. Um, the stress that we go through in at work can't be underestimated. It does happen, a significant amount of stress. Statistically, we hear about how high the statistics are for people who are just dealing with a lot of stress at work. And so we're always encouraging our community, people that we know, our partners, co-workers, everybody we're connected to make sure that they're effectively managing their stress and looking at tactics to do that. So, one of the things that you could do is to identify and acknowledge those stress triggers. What are they? The first step in managing workplace stress is recognizing the factors that contribute to it. Is it excessive workload? Are there tight deadlines? Is there poor communication? Are you having conflict with colleagues? Understanding and knowing what these triggers are is really important, and to work to proactively address them to find suitable solutions is really important as well. So let's dive into a scenario or an example. You have a deadline coming up for a project, and maybe you thought that you had months, maybe they changed the date and the deadline. How do you handle all of that? We've certainly been there. um, Making sure that you're giving yourself adequate and realistic time to be able to um, uh, follow these deadlines is really important. So making sure you're doing that and putting it on your calendar a little bit every day to make sure that you're working toward getting those types of things done, making sure that you're staying on track and you're able to realistically meet these deadlines, meaning put it on put some pop-up reminders on your phone, put it on your calendar to work toward these deadlines. Conflicts with colleagues, how are you working with them? I mean, that's a whole other HR kind of issue, depending on the size of your team. If you work in corporate, or if you work at a nonprofit or a small business. I don't know if you're working on Zoom. Things have changed now because of COVID, so a lot of people are working virtually. Unfortunately, sometimes colleagues that you're working with as a team on a project, maybe they're not pulling their weight. Maybe reaching out to a manager to make sure that you're articulating, hey, I'm doing my part on this. You don't want to throw anybody under the bus. It's always good to try to talk to that colleague in person, but maybe it doesn't work out well. Maybe they ignore you or dismiss you. You have no choice except to reach out to a manager that maybe is managing both of you to figure out how you're going to handle that situation and still do your due diligence to meet that deadline. So, those are just some scenarios of some things that come up. Definitely prioritizing and organizing your task is really important. A lot of us feel very overwhelmed. We have these never ending to-do lists. So it's certainly a major source of stress. But all you could do is take it one day at a time, but making sure you're staying organized and using tools, whether they're reminders, um, whether they are on your calendar, any of those types of things. It's just really important to add things to your calendar, add those reminders, add those pop ups to your schedule, and making sure that you're responding to tasks that are urgent. um, is it urgent or is it important? So making sure you're determining which item to respond to first is really important. So break them down into manageable chunks, and create a clear plan of action that's going to help you stay on track. So organizing your work, you can regain a sense of control and reduce some of the stress by staying as organized as possible. Take them into pieces. Don't feel like you have to do everything at once, and maybe split it with a fellow team member or a fellow colleague. That's something that we really cultivate at Light of Gold PR. And at Gold Wellness Circle is that sense of community and teamwork, sharing tasks amongst your team. If you have a small team and you can't do that, breaking it down into measurable chunks and putting it on your schedule is going to be really important. And it really does help to reduce stress. Effective time management. Oh boy, we go through this too. And sometimes we don't always hit it out the park. We try to, but if you don't manage your time, oh my goodness, it could be really a big source of stress. So identify areas that you need to maybe improve on. Are you using a project management tool? We use project management tools prolifically in our company. We have team meetings, and we do break up our tasks into manageable chunks. Before we had a team at Light of Gold PR, we had to really make strong use of our calendar, use tools, use project management tools, use our phone, for pop-up reminders. All of that does help. If you could delegate tasks, that's great. I often have to do that when possible. If you have to create a schedule and stay on top of it so that you can work effectively, you can reduce stress and maintain a better work-life balance. So that's another tactic to keep in mind. Open communication. Oh my goodness, how important is communication? So many times things get miscommunicated or not communicated. That can really hurt a project or create a lot of stress. If somebody did something, didn't let someone know, we experienced that too. We're in the trenches right along with you. So we really try hard to articulate and communicate things as much as possible, especially for us. We don't have the same team members that work every day. So being really good at articulating and creating a status and letting other team members know when things have been completed or tasks have been completed so that they know where to pick up the ball from. So that's really important. So open communication is really key. Sometimes what I end up having to do, I create team things to do videos for my team with a link so that they can look at what I know we've done. And then being on the call, if some team members were not on working with you the day before, being able to articulate, hey, this is what we've gotten done. This is what we've done. This is what's left to do. So that's always really important to do as well. Taking regular breaks and practicing self-care. I'm a huge self-care person. I'm a big believer in breaks, not just for myself. I'm always telling my team, it is lunchtime. take your break. Please take your break, because I want everybody to restore and renew themselves, take a mental break, walk away from something, and then come back. Sometimes refreshes them to have new ideas, new strategies that maybe they couldn't have if they just kept working through. And I think a lot of times with creative work, because we like the work and we enjoy it, we feel like we don't need to take a break, but you actually probably need to take a break more, because it is creative work. It's not like you're picking up and moving things, you are using your brain. And so when you're using your brain and coming up with strategies, tactics, um, things like that, it's really important to take breaks. So please make sure you're taking regular breaks. Take a walk, go outside. If it's especially this time of year, spring, summertime, go outside, take a walk, go ahead and unwind. Those 15 to 20 minutes doing that, or that 30 to 45 minutes of your lunch break, listening to calming music, breathing exercise, getting outside is really, really important. So make sure you're doing that as well. Develop healthy coping mechanisms. So, what does that mean? So, healthy coping mechanisms um, means that, okay, I even have to do this, watch excessive caffeine consumption. Sometimes at 2 or 3 o'clock time of the day, I'm really craving an iced coffee. I'm not going to lie to you. I even have to get better at, okay, I'm not going to get an iced coffee. I'm going to go ahead and drink a bottle of water, because sometimes drinking too much coffee, I even have to manage that. Or too much alcohol, too many cocktails, to manage stress. Hey, I'm really stressed out. I'm going to get a beer. I'm going to get a drink. Those are not always the best coping mechanisms. So, physical exercise, mindfulness, like meditation, those are good ways. Those are better, healthier coping mechanisms. You feel stress, taking a deep breath, you know, breathing through your nose, blowing out through your mouth, all of that, those are healthier coping mechanisms. I'm a big believer in talk therapy. Sometimes when I'm going through something, talking about something with a trusted friend is also, a good thing as well. So as we wrap up, we got just a few more minutes. Seeking social support is important. So if you have colleagues, trusted friends, mentors, please feel free to share certain things with them in a trusted space. These have to be trusted individuals, not people who are trying to throw you under the bus. They're not nice people. And so they don't want the best for you. Be careful about even having people like that as friends. Sometimes they could be your family members, unfortunately. So creating boundaries with people like that, you just have to make sure you do that. Setting boundaries, learning to say no. Your plate is already full. No, you can't do this. You can't do that. So many times we have to learn how to say no. That's me included, because now we're feeling overwhelmed. And so when you say no, you're saying yes to something for yourself. Well, that can be part of your self care. So make sure that you're doing that. Relaxation exercises like guided imagery, creating an image of something that you really enjoy, whether it's the ocean, the sand of the beach, the sound of waves, a gentle breeze, a stream. That's all guided imagery. But also, yoga, any kind of muscle relaxation, deep breathing, meditation, all of that helps as well. And lastly, some of us need a little bit more. So some of us might need professional help, therapy. If you are finding yourself where you're staying in a place of high stress or overwhelm, and it's just consistent. And then now it turns into sadness, it turns into depression. That's when you need to talk to a therapist or a counselor who specializes in workplace stress management. That's really important. So remember that effective stress management, it's an ongoing process. It's not just something that you do once or twice. You have to incorporate it into an ongoing strategy to make your health and well-being your number one priority. You can't take care of anybody else until you take care of yourself first. It allows you to be healthier and more productive in your work environment, but it also allows you to incorporate self-care and awareness into how you take care of yourself. So that's really, really important. So I don't see, I don't know if anybody has any questions or comments. You can always drop it into the chat. We're going to share this live stream again, with anybody who wants to chime in afterwards. We usually put this on our Go Wellness Circle website under Wellness Wednesday. If you want to be a guest, there's also a link on Wellness Wednesday to be a guest on our live. We'll be back in 2 weeks. We won't be back next Wednesday, which is just after the 4th of July holiday, which will be the July 5th. We won't be back on July 5th. We'll be back on July 12th. Everybody have a wonderful 4th of July holiday. Get some downtime in, some fun time in, some time with family and friends. Get a chance to do some things that you typically don't get a chance to do. So don't spend too much time working. Go ahead and take a break and enjoy your time. Thanks everybody for watching our Wellness Wednesday. Take care. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.